So guys, we've just received the ambient lighting pack for a Nissan Micra K14. This is the genuine Nissan pack, which was sold as an optional extra when you bought the car. So in the pack you should get, let me open this up. Should get a set of instructions, fitting instructions. Now Nissan recommend that you have a Nissan dealer fit these because you have to drill some trim panels and they don't want to be held liable for you fitting them incorrectly. First page you get just that warning, you get your templates, and then into the fitting instructions. Before you go fitting them and starting taking trim off, I'd recommend you have a read through the instructions just so you know what's going on. You set templates, you get a left hand and a right hand drive set. These all obviously left or right hand drive specific. They're templates for where you drill your holes for fitting your lights. So they come in the instructions. Put them on the side. You get 5 sets of adhesive backed foam. These are to help stop when you fit it under the dash or this wiring harness. It just stops it rattling about, stops it rubbing through. So you get 5 of them. It tells you where to wire everything through in the instructions. You get a pack of zip ties, which obviously if you do stuff on your own cars anyway, you're going to have a load of zip ties, but they're nice to have. Should be just the right amount there. Tells you obviously where to put them as well. You get your 2 ambient lights. So we've got this one, which I haven't opened yet, and the second one, which I have opened, and we'll show you what that looks like. So they're really quite small, these. They're just a little LED with a frosted thing in front. You drill the hole big enough to put this through from the back side of the dash, so it comes through like that into your dashboard, into your footwell, and obviously illuminates from the back side of the trim panel, and then all just plugs into the wiring harness. So there's 2 of them, as you'd expect. And then the important bit is your Nissan wiring harness. All the plugs are fitted in the cars as standard because it's an optional extra. So it should be plug and play. While I'm filming this, I obviously haven't had a chance to install it, so I'll let you know how that goes. One of the panels for removal is under the glove box. So if we have a look, it's just this panel here. You can see it's quite loose at the back. There's nothing holding it in the back. You get your finger under the corner, give it a bit of a tweak. That came out easier than I thought. It's got 3 metal clips along the front. Well, 2 metal clips and a bit of a plastic locating lug, bit of like a plastic clip, that all fit up under here. This is one of the panels you're going to be drilling, so you've got to remove this white stuff off the top, put one of your templates on the bottom, and then drill the hole in that. So looking at our instructions, once we remove the panel and remove the white stuff, the sounded in like I just said, and cut the template out, and then it's going to go on that square there for us to drill, which is this one here. So we're going to drill a hole in the middle of there and put the light in there, and then it should shine through the bottom and into the footwell. So the next couple of trim pieces that we're going to remove are the sill piece. So this one, you literally just grab it, prise it up, and it should come off. So it comes off, and these white clips underneath. Just keep prising it up. So it's got them little tabs, and they just click into all of these. And then I'm going to remove this one. So it's just a pull forward, and it pops over these metal tabs, and then pull it out at an angle. There's this little hole which goes on this little red stud back here. So that's how we remove those pieces, and that's nearly all of them on the passenger side. Next one we're going to remove is that one. It's down the centre console on both sides we'll go for. Like I say, we're going to remove this piece. This is the long piece down the side of the centre console. It's the same on both sides. Just find an edge and just start unclipping it. Everything's held on with clips in this car. So just unclip it, take it out. So there's a little bit of a plastic clip back there. You might have to just slide it off it. And in my case, it's left the little clips behind. Not broken them, it's just left them behind. There's one there, and there's one up there as well. Simple. There's a few little plastic lugs that hold it on, as you can see all the way around, and they just clip into there. That should leave us pretty clear to feed over the top with the wiring. Some bits that you can't get to normally when it's on, so I'll give them a clean before I put it all back together. So I've now got both sides off. Obviously I'm doing this for a right-hand drive, but if you're a left-hand drive, it's just the mirror image. There's a couple of extra panels to take off for a right-hand drive, for a left-hand drive to a right-hand drive, but they should be the same as well. Got a couple of T30 screws which we're going to undo so that we can get this whole panel out, which is the other panel to drill, which is for the driver's side footwell. So we're going to take all of this out, all in one piece. It should just unclip all the way around, and I'll show you that when we get that out. There's a couple of plugs in the back, which obviously we're going to unplug when we drop it down. Mostly that's, and there's an intake and there's a plug underneath as well, which we've all got to sort out. So I shall update you when I get. So just an update before we whip this out, we've got to take this side panel out. There is a little notch just in that side there, and we're going to put some sort of trim removal tool. I got one very similar to this. I've got a pack of them, or a flat-headed screwdriver and some tape on the plastic here, just so you don't scuff it up. Last thing you want to do is go damaging your trim. So I'm going to pop it in and try and prise this up. So we're getting under it. Once it starts to click and starts to come off, you're away. So we'll just whip these clips out like so, which means we can then, because this is what clips this edge in, sort of in all together, and then we should be able to unclip this dashboard surround, well, the lower driver's side panel. I'll update you when we get there. I need two hands just to give this a pull. So we've popped that down. Now you can see that there's all these clips, clips and all these plugs for all the different buttons on the front. If yours don't have them, then obviously you won't have any of this to worry about. If your memory's as good as mine, I'd suggest taking the picture, but the plugs should just go, shouldn't go anywhere else other than where they're supposed to. Companies are quite good at doing that. And then it's the same over there. I've got big plug, and then there's a little, like an air in, and another plug, which I think will be a temperature sensor for the cabin. Not forcefully right, but that's what I think it'll be. And then obviously this is the panel that we're going to drill as well. So we drill it somewhere around here. It's very dusty looking at it now. So I'll update you again once we've popped that. So I've got this panel out, all them plugs undone, corrugated pipe off of there, and the plug from there, and then the wiring was clipped on to there with one of these little bitey things. So all you want to do is just pry the sides out, give it a good tug. It should come off, not do any damage. I mean, it does chew it up, but that's when they go on and off. So. And then the big plug that was in there, that pushed through from the bottom side, just squeeze the tabs together, push it through, and then it lets you pull the whole piece away from there. Looks drastic, but it's really not that bad once you get into it. It's just a load of clips and some plugs. So obviously them two T30 Torx bits for the fuel and bonnet latch, but that's it. So I'll show you it once we've drilled the holes. Right, so I forgot to film that bit, but we are no further with the trim pieces. Obviously we took them off, drilling them pieces now, which is what we're going to do. Running the wiring, we have plugged it straight into the plug that comes down out the main loom. It's just a strip, plug in, plug connector. There's a spare one here, which is on the loom. Not entirely sure what that's for, unless it was for another optional extra, I don't really know. Zip tied it on its way back up, so it sort of does a loop from the plug, loops up, and then we've zip tied it into the main harness just to keep it tidy. That little fuse that's fitted in it is there, obviously right next to the fuse box for if we need to get to it. Zip tied it again up here, following the instructions. It says to zip tie up here, pull all the excess out and leave 250mm between where we zip tie it up there and the plug, which gives us enough to plug it in to the lighting unit. Obviously, if you get it fitted, or I get it fitted in a bit and decide that that's a bit much, I can cut that off and put a new zip tie on, just take a bit more slack out. It then runs up through there, zip tied in there. Obviously all of this is behind panelling anyway. It runs up around there, zip tied again there. It's maybe a bit dark, I don't know if you can see that. Further along, behind all of that, obviously running it with factory wiring, you know it's going to be hidden. They don't want you seeing their wiring, so if you're fitting another harness, just wire it along it. Zip tied in again there, and then fed behind the heater box. And I'll pick you up on the other side. So we've run all the wiring on this other side as well. Put some of the trim back in because we need it out still. So it runs with cable tied it there. So as it comes through from the other side, it's cable tied again here behind that, and then it runs up behind where the light goes, and then we're gonna. So we've used the templates, we've drilled them, drilled the panels. Use the self-adhesive double-sided sticky stuff that's on them, stuck them in, and now we're going to fit the panels back in. Obviously fitting is the opposite of removal, so I won't film that bit and I'll just show you when it's done and we're all plugged in. There are a couple of foam bits in the box to put on, a couple of these bits to put on the wiring under the dash just to stop it rattling and rubbing. But yeah, once it's all fitted, I'll show you it done. So as promised, I've waited till it's dark. It's dark out now. Wait to show you what they look like inside. A bit of a difference. Lit up footwells now. They're all fitted. Can't see them when you're looking in normally. You see them just fitted under there. I might see them a bit better if I turn these lights out. Can we turn them off? There we go. That's with the cabin lights off, and then they go off after so long. Obviously the engine's not running or anything. But if I was to open my door again, see footwell lights come back on. Nice little bit of lighting for when you're getting in and out of the car. So yeah, if this video helps you with your fitting of them, just give it a like, or just hope it helps for anyone else fitting the same kit.